With the earlier news towards the new Go Fest, where Mewtwo is going to absolutely return, most likely even as a Mega Pokemon, we're going to take a look at my Shundo Mewtwo, which of course is going to be a very cool Shundo Mega Mewtwo eventually, but today we want to take a look at how strong this Pokemon is, still in the Open Master League. And we're not running Shadow Ball, which is generally recommended, and generally I think that Shadow Ball nowadays is better, but I think I only got rid of this move last season, just for this move being buffed this season, which would make Mewtwo a bit stronger, but I only have like basically one elite charge TM, which I kind of want to keep for the next season. So today we're going to run Focus Blast, and Focus Blast has a lot of potential as well, because it's going to have the potential to one-shot a lot of the opponents that don't really expect it, and thanks to the Psycho Cut being the fast move of Mewtwo, we actually get generating energy incredibly fast, which allows us to get to the Focus Blast and just 9 fast moves, which allows us as well to maybe nuke an opponent later. Trust me, there's gonna be a one battle where Focus Blast really comes in clutch there, and so, yeah, let's take a look here at the team itself. We're going to have the lead of the Xerneas here to counter any kind of Dark-type Pokemon, as Mewtwo isn't really great against them, as well as you can neutral at least against the Ghost types as well. But it is needed mainly for Dark-type Pokemon. Like, we have the Yveltal in the meta, and because we have the Yveltal in the meta, and because we have a lead that's going to be weak to also something like a Ho-Oh, which you see here in the first battle, we're going to have our Reshiram as well on this team, which is packing the move Stone Edge, which is great against both Yveltal as well as Ho-Oh. And Ho-Oh is going to be up against us now. We're going to be able to reach a Moonblast with our Yveltal, our Xerneas here, of course, which is going to drop the opponent low enough that they should be in range for one Side Strike. We're also having our Mewtwo best buddy today. I only recently made a video about the best buddy Pokemon that you should have. Definitely check that one out, and generally anything about the best buddy feature in Pokemon Go, because there's a lot of misunderstanding. Check that video out if you haven't done that yet, but here we're going to be able to win our first battle, as they're going to be able to move on to the next opponent. We will face off against a Kyurem Black. This is actually not the best matchup for ourselves. Well, they're going to be a Dragon type and we do the super effective damage with only the recently buffed fast move of the Xerneas actually. We only got recently the buff towards Geomancy, which actually is a big change, because now look at the damage of Geomancy. It's actually kind of something you can see. Prior, you were basically doing 0 damage. But here, we are going to be able to get bullshits from the opponent early, which helps us out quite immensely, because now we have the potential at least to hit any of those hard-hitting moves of Mewtwo. Mewtwo isn't really great in the 2-shield scenario, because Mewtwo is struggling and applying the fast move pressure, but where Mewtwo is great is if you can have a little bit of an energy advantage, because the damage output of this Pokemon is still absolutely there. And so here we're going to have the Zekrom with Outrage, which is going to knock us out. Kind of unfortunate, but we can go for the full farm down here with our Xerneas, getting us a ton of energy. In comes the Zacian from the opponent. We can reach for another charge move. We can go for the close combat, and we can swap out into the Mewtwo. If I would have Shadow Ball, I would be able to now one-shot them, but I'm kind of forced to go for the Side Strike or the Focus Blast, which is not really great at all for me. And here the Behemoth Blade is nearly knocking us out. We go for the charge move as they swap out into their Kyurem, looking really bad for us. Now with the Shadow Ball, the opponent's Zacian would have been gone long ago, but now it's Zacian against the Xerneas, a Fairy against Fairy, but their Fairy is the way stronger Fairy with a better type, but we have access to close combat, and this is actually going to be enough to knock them out and win us this battle. Next opponent, we're going to see Rhyperior. We have one Pokemon in the back that really doesn't want to face Rhyperior, which is going to be, of course, our Reshiram, but the rest is going to be fine for us. We're going to have here otherwise, of course, the Mewtwo, which is going to be kind of neutral, and of course, if we hit a Focus Blast, we just one-shot them. But at this range, because there's Shadow Rhyperior as well, they're very likely close to the range where I would be able to knock them out as well, with just a Side Strike. I only now realized they actually went for a superpower here against us, which makes their attack a little bit lower, but as we see here, I'm just still going to use a shield against the Rock Wrecker. They swap out into their Palkia, which allows me now to go for a Side Strike, which is doing some massive damage. Can we still reach another Side Strike before they can go for their own Spatial Rent? Let's find out. They're gonna go for a charge move. It might be just the Awkward Tail, which we would be able to survive. It is a Spatial Rent, which we also still survive, and so Mewtwo, thanks to maybe even the best buddy bonus here, is going to be able to take down the opponent's Palkia, allowing us to align ourselves, but I swap out straight away here into my Reshiram because I know I need to. They're going to have in the back their Kyurem White, which is very funny because they're very similar Pokemon and what they do and what they have. But we are not in a great position at all yet. But we're going to be able to beat them basically here because they have also Fusion Flare. What Fusion Flare is going to be double resistant on us while it's going to be neutral against the opponent. They're forced to go for the Ice Burn. I can still reach another charge move here, but we are in a very tough position. I have to clear my debuff out from the close combat here, from the Mewtwo here basically as well, which we're going to swap out into the Mewtwo to clear the debuff, and we can still farm them down with the Xerneas. What a game this was. Insanely played actually with the Xerneas. I actually recently now kind of start enjoying the Master League a little bit more as well. There are a few more Pokemon that I kind of want to showcase. I kind of want to limit it to like one battle video a day and one like video towards other things, as we are kind of approaching closer the new season of the Go Battle League, and today only we got stuff pushed towards the new season in the game code, which we can talk a little bit about right now as well. And of course, if you want to stay up to date for the new season coming up, then feel free to leave a like and subscribe here as well, as we're going to have a lot coming up of course on this channel. I have a lot of things planned for the upcoming season. Stay tuned for that. But basically, what was found in the code was some information towards the new season. We got like a little banner which just has like some, like basically the new season name got already released with that as well, which is going to have the season name of Memories in Motion. Whatever that means, it's very likely going to be like a throwback because it's the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, and I think the next season is going to focus on that, which could draw a lot of new players back into the game as well there, which would be kind of cool. Like new players in terms of players that stop playing or like completely new players, which would be very, very cool. So hopefully the next season is going to be exciting as well for the Go Battle League, because for the Go Battle League we see now the basically a motive thing for that, where we just have like the general symbol of the Go Battle League in front of the background for the upcoming season, which is nothing really crazy. I don't really need to put it in. But basically what we have here is the setting already got adjusted for the next season, where we have rank 24 again. Next season we're going to have rank 24 again based on the code right now, which is great to know. Otherwise, the next season is going to go until Tuesday, so it's the 2nd of June 2026. So that's going to be interesting as well. Of course, just normal. That ends at the first Tuesday of the next season, basically. Everything else is basically back to normal. What we have as well, that most likely the Jungle Cup is coming back, because for Jungle Cup, Gligar and Galarian Stunfisk got unbanned. But that's basically all the information so far that we have towards the new Go Battle League season. We're going to get a new Go Pass as well. That's going to be interesting as well. But just generally speaking, this is going to be it for what we have so far. We know, though, at least from the code, that the next season is not going to be an interlude season. Next season is going to be a real season again. And I assume that there's going to be a lot of focus towards Kanto for the next one, but maybe even just going through the different kind of generations, because again, we are having Go Fest coming up after the season, afterwards, basically after the next season, and it's going to be one of the biggest events coming up then afterwards anyway with the Go Fest. Like, it's going to be interesting what next season is going to give us. There's going to be very likely just throwbacks towards very good events, the different generations, and everything related to the Pokemon 30th anniversary, which is going to be very interesting. So yeah, definitely going to be kind of cool. So let's take a look here at the battles again. We're going to have here Mewtwo against the Zacian here, which is going to sadly knock us out with another charge move. This is not going to work out for us. We can see here that we can go back into our own, what's called Xerneas, and we're sadly gonna not knock them out in time, and we can move on to the next opponent. Alright. Lunala is a Pokemon we have to stay in for at least a little bit, because we have to get some damage onto this Pokemon in order to have a chance of winning this battle, because this is the nemesis of our Mewtwo, as we are not running the Focus Blast, we're not running the Shadow Ball, we're running Focus Blast. By the way, the battle where we hit a Focus Blast as well is still coming up. Stay tuned for that one. But let's take a look at the next battle here. We're going to see the Shadow Ball coming through, and I'm gonna let it go again. Trying to keep all my shields for my Mewtwo, for at least for now, because now it actually makes sense to use my shields even against the opponent's Xerneas, because I would be able to align myself, and so I'm going to use my shield. It's just worth it to use it here. Like, it's absolutely worth it. They go for the close combat, dropping their own defense. I try to catch the move. That's what I want to do here. I try to catch the move onto my Mewtwo. It didn't work out again, so that's going to be a bit annoying, because now I have 2 Fusion Flares stored, but I just try to utilize the opponent's Xerneas in order to get as much energy as possible, which in hindsight was not the right play, because as you're going to see here, we don't have Shadow Ball, which means they are going to be able to take the hit from our Mewtwo. We're not even going to be able to reach another charge move in time, and with that, we just kind of destroyed our own chances on winning this battle here. So, like, I know I tried to do this. I I guess mostly I just forgot about the Lunala. I just did those battles very late at night as well. I'm currently having a bit difficult times to find time to actually do my battles, but I know that currently a lot of people just have a break anyway. I have a newborn here as well, which I just have to mind a lot of times towards the evening time where I usually do my battles, so sorry for that. Let's take a look here at the next opponent. We have Zacian against an elite. How do you play against this Pokemon? And this Pokemon, I actually like to keep a little bit of an advantage to myself in terms of trying to get some damage onto them. I know that fast move is going to be super effective, but I also know that if I hit one close combat, I put them into the Side Strike range basically of our Mewtwo. So in comes here the Palkia, that's not ideal. We are going to take the hit. I don't really see the point of shielding here. Yes, I would get the Stone Edge off, but then they're going to get my energy for the next matchup. And I will just try to utilize my Xerneas. I should just let the move go here because it's going to be very likely just the Awkward here. They went a little bit over in terms of the energy, so I should only go for 1 or 2 exactly in order to go for another close combat against them to knock them out. It's easily going to be enough. I'm actually forced to stay in here because I sub onto their own dragon. And I can still go for a Moonblast, which is going to do some solid damage against them, or get the shield here. And now it's down to Mewtwo. I have a shield advantage, but I'm still in a very tough position. I'm forced to knock out the entire team from the opponent with this one Pokemon here, and I am not in the best position here, so we're going to have the opponent stopping out now into the Zacian. I can go for the Side Strike, which is going to land here, and it's not going to be even enough damage to knock them out. And this is devastating as I now have to use a shield. I need to try to go for the full Farmland or something. I have to see. I'm going to go for the full Farmland here, but I actually make a mistake because I thought they would get knocked out already at this point, but I don't do enough damage. And so Side Strike is coming through. I didn't want to throw the Side Strike. There was a big mistake. Now I have less energy on my Pokemon. I can go for another charge move here, and I'm definitely going to lose this battle here, right? It's a CMP tie. It would have mostly not really mattered if I even kept the other charge move. Fusion Flag comes in. Xerneas here is going to be too low. Or not. It's so funny, isn't it? Xerneas is so much stronger now with the recent update towards the fast move. It's crazy. But yeah, Xerneas against Xerneas here now. Who is going to win the CMP tie? It looks like it's going to be me. I think I have the higher IVs compared to the opponent. Even though the opponent has the best buddy ribbon on theirs, it's not equipped with the best buddy rank. So it's not going to be higher than ours. Moonblast coming in here. We're going to see the swap out into the Lunala, which of course we only have one Pokemon to retaliate, which is going to be the Reshiram. Reshiram is going to be better, especially in the 2 shields scenario, because we're going to be able to generate energy at the same speed as the opponent, but we actually need 5 less energy for our main charge move, which is going to be beneficial mainly in the 2 shields, as then we're definitely going to be able to outspeed them, because now they kind of have a little bit of an advantage though, because they kind of stopped in first. But let's see, we're going to be able to reach another charge move. They're going to use a shield here, and I'm kind of forced to use a shield, because any other way I'm not going to be able to do anything. They go for the Moonblast here though. In comes the opponent's Xerneas, and again we try to catch the move from the close combat here, which doesn't work out. The Mewtwo is going to be standing up against the opponent's Xerneas. We can take the Moonblast, but our only hope is to kind of farm them down, which doesn't work out either. But now this gives me an opportunity to get even more energy on my Reshiram, and this is my only hope. Reshiram is at a Stone Edge now. Reshiram has a ton of energy stored already, but let's see what is going to be in the back. It's going to be the opponent's Reshiram, and I'm going to go for the bait here first. This is going to be crucial. If we're going to land this, we're going to land this. This is going to be fire, because now I can go for the Stone Edge, but the opponent catches the move onto the Lunala. Well done by the opponent, really well done. That worked out super well for them, and we're going to lose this battle now because of this. Shouts them, well done there, nice catch, and we can move on to the final battle, and this is of course the battle now where we have a Focus Blast landing. Spoiler alert, but it's going to be kind of clear in the middle of the battle anyway that we're going to be able to land that Focus Blast, because what we'll see here is that shield's going to be gone early. We can go for the close combat, getting the first shield from the opponent. In comes our Reshiram, which is going to be very likely our best answer towards this Pokemon, as now the Side Shock is coming in, and what we know is that they have an Urshifu, and Urshifu we cannot hit with our charge moves of Reshiram. But what I know is I don't actually need to care too much about alignment, because what we have here is 2 Pokemon that can deal with Urshifu, so it just depends on what the final Pokemon gonna be. And here we are going to be able to get them low, but they can actually farm us down, get a ton of energy, and I can go to my Xerneas and try to farm them down. But actually, Meloetta, one of the bulkiest Pokemon, I have a Shundo of this Pokemon. I just need to build it fully, but I feel like I don't really want to use my Stardust right now at this point of time in a season like this. So I will try to keep all my Stardust until the end of this season in order to try to build new stuff for the new season. So yeah, I will not use any of that. But here we get the final shield. In comes the Urshifu, which we know Side Strike is going to be enough to knock them out, and that yeah, the Snorlax here is just kind of just waiting to get knocked out. It's honestly just waiting here. We have a shield still left. They do super effective fast move damage here with a lick, but they need to go for at least 2 body slams in order to have a chance of winning this one. But here's the focus burst, and with this, I want to say thanks so much for watching even throughout this season. I know it's kind of a terrible season currently, but next one is going to be better, and I'm excited for this. Stay tuned. See you then. Bye bye.